Deputy Mick Barry were in possession, and that you have 10 minutes remaining in this slot.
Deputy Smith, yes. I think when I saw this, I thought it was interesting that Fianna Fáil's first private members' bill was about this issue of motor insurance, and very much portrayed and framed as presenting Fianna Fáil as the friends and the best friends in Ireland of the ordinary Joe Soaps and Josephine Soaps, which is quite ironic, really, given their record. The biggest cost in insurance premiums at 60% is the legal costs. And if you look at the role and the history of Fianna Fáil in government, and indeed the last government of Fine Gael and Labour, none of them touched the legal profession. None of them went after the legal profession, even in the way that the Troika asked them to, which was to bring down the legal costs in the country. Probably one of the ring-fenced areas that the Troika didn't go after. And yet the ranks of both parties, and particularly Fianna Fáil, are swollen with legal eagles of all sorts. I remember this being my experience in Dublin City Council in particular. The number of barristers and solicitors in that party was quite astonishing, who were also political representatives. And yet we're talking about an issue today where the legal costs represent 60% of the total costs of the motor insurance, and the legal industry are the ones who are least touched or gone after in terms of this. So despite the portrayal of the industry of the real cost being about the young, fast-moving drivers who are fraudulent, who get whiplash at the drop of a hat, who are making all sorts of spurious claims, the real costs are much more hidden away, both in legal costs and in terms of profits. When you look at the profits of the big three insurance companies, it's quite interesting that they're not actually hurting all that badly, thank you very much. Aviva in 2015, profits were up by 38.5%. Now, I know that includes all of their profits, but nevertheless this is the profits of a company who insure everything from medical to houses, and they may well be hurting a wee bit on car insurance, but they're certainly making up for it elsewhere. AXA Insurance in the same period, €76.9 million in profits, and Allianz 43.3 million in profits. So they claim that their costs have increased, but their profits are certainly very, very healthy indeed. And yet the injuries board show a modest 8% increase in new claims for 18 months to the middle of 2015. 70% of personal injury claims don't go to court, although there may be legal costs attached to it. So the arguments of the industry that the claims are the problem don't really stack up, and there's no real evidence to show that. The companies themselves have cited, among other reasons, a drop in investment income. In other words, they're investing money and investing profits in stocks and shares, and the returns on these are dropping. In fact, advice received by the previous Minister for Transport, Paschal Donoghue, his own officials showed scepticism that the industry claims of the premiums rising because of compensation awards. They were very sceptical of this, and the quote I'd like to give you from that evidence from the officials says that examining the evidence of awards, it shows that motor insurers are now imposing higher premiums rates to return themselves to profitability or to boost their profitability after a number of years of insurance competing for a market share with prices slightly driven down. But the question does arise, and this is quoting the officials advising the Minister for the motor insurance companies, that if motor insurance is so unprofitable, why does anyone do it? And therefore, we are constantly being told that competition is a healthy thing. Competition is supposed to be more efficient. It's supposed to improve the industry. But here is an example of the market ruling and making an absolute bags of an issue. And making a bags of an issue where people are absolutely fundamentally legally required to have motor insurance, but still the market is proven to do them nothing but a disservice. So the only way that I believe we can improve this situation for the ordinary Joe and Josephine Soaps, who are so well got to the hearts of Fianna Fáil, is to have a state-run, publicly owned and controlled and publicly accountable company that will insure people who are legally obliged to have insurance. a company that's not subject to the diktat of the market, trying to make quick bucks by investing in stocks and shares, but rather serving the needs of the people for medical and other cover when they require insurance. And there will be a cavalcade of protesters on this issue, young, old, long, tall, medium, short, the ordinary Joe and Josephine Soaps from Cavan to Kerry, ascending on this city on Saturday the 2nd of July, a well-organised cavalcade to protest against the soaring cost of insurance. And I hope that most deputies who genuinely have the interests of Joe and Josephine Soap at heart will be out to support that protest.
Thank you very much, Deputy. Of just over 4 minutes.
Ceann Comhairle.